All black on all blue here tonight in the uniforms. As the first pitch is in there for a strike. Chloe Middlebrooks leading things off for Georgia State. Count 1-1 on her. Chloe Middlebrooks, JC Goodwin, and Jordan Rayner will bat here in the first inning for the Panthers.
And I think it's really important for Orcutt to go right at them tonight. Go right at them, pitch strikes, let your defense do the work, and then see where she can get tonight with her team playing behind her.
Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Middlebrooks retired on strikes. Here's JC Goodwin.
Now batting the designated player number 3, JC Goodwin.
Takes a cut, 0-1. Goodwin Jr. from Paris, Kentucky. And Bourbon County High School, which, if that sounds familiar, Georgia's Jaden Goodwin, a sophomore from Paris, Kentucky, and Bourbon County High School. Sisters getting to square off against each other here tonight.
Seems like that house would have been super competitive growing up.
We'll pop into this one. It'll travel to left. Cindy Chambly is there, 2 away. There's Sis.
Now batting third baseman number 21, Jordan Rayner.
Little Sis watching Big Sis fly out there, 2 away. As that one comes inside Jordan Rayner.
I'm sure they're really supportive of each other after all their games. I wonder how they are tonight playing against each other.
Two-0. Rayner, a 250 hitter here on the season there in that 3 spot. Chloe Nadler waits behind her. She leads the team with a 341 average should she get on base here. The 2-1 goes outside.
Orca got a quick 2 outs, and I think it's important, maybe lack of opportunity, lack of chances, but getting this chance now, I think her best bet is to go right at them. Trust your pitches, trust your movement.
Really well hit this one to center on a line.
And trust your
41 against her. She is going to look at Dallas Goodnight to get things started here in the bottom half. Ball goes high and outside, 1-0 to the Georgia center fielder.
I think for Stevens, it's the same thing. Go right at them, trust your pitches, trust your movement, and also trust your defense. I think the first couple innings is kind of like a chess game. Like, what are they going to do? What do we need to do? And you're kind of filling it out. And I would go right at them. Make them earn it. You don't want to give up any free bases, hit by pitches. You want to go right at them. Trust your defense.
Good night, Sarah Mosley. Jada Kearney will bat here in the inning. Kearney's 14 home runs, second in the SEC team lead. The 1-1 is popped up. Morton is there. One away. Here's Sarah Mosley. We talked about her in the open.
Now batting the third baseman, number 33, Sarah Mosley.
Mosley, the senior from LJ. .338 average here on the season for her. A 1 is lifted to left. It'll nestle into the glove of Lauren Brister. And Georgia, pretty quick 2 outs here.
Yeah, I think at this part during the season, it's, sometimes it's tough. You're not getting the hits you want. You might have dropped a couple games. But I think what's important to focus on are the small adjustments. You don't want to make drastic adjustments during the middle of the season, but small adjustments, bat to bat, pitch to pitch, and then staying consistent with that mindset.
Want to know to Jada Kearney. Check swing. She'll hold off there. Kearney ahead 2-0. Another one misses. 3-0. Scott Mayer is calling our balls and strikes this afternoon. Tatum Stolting is at first. Andrew Maston is at third. And therefore, strike 3-1.
It's interesting to me. During the season, you go through your ups and downs and lulls, and you as hitters, you have a count 3-0, and you'll have different coaches that give green lights and different coaches that would prefer you not have a green light because you want to work on things. You don't want to force something. You want to take what you can give. And I mean, a walk is just as good as a hit. You want base runners. You want to create momentum. You want to create chaos with your lineup. And I think last couple weekends that has been lacking a little bit for Georgia. It's just is getting that one hit, getting that one run in clutch situations.
So 2 out and runner at first. Jaden Goodwin pops this one up on the infield. Morton will catch it. Second time she's pulled one in the circles. So Riley Orcutt worked the first inning through 13 pitches. And Gibson's going to come on now here in the second. She fires a strike. Gibson 175 ERA on the season. That one fought off foul. 4, 5, and 6 for Georgia State here in the second frame. Chloe Nadler leading things off. Carolyn Deedy and Ashton Scheuer will bat.
I think this is another move thinking about, where you are in your season, longevity of everybody on the team, and giving pitchers maybe that haven't had a lot of opportunities to pitch to come into a game like this and be able to set the tone and be able to work on things. And at the end of the season, you're going to need everybody. Yep. You may not have all the opportunities during the season, but when it comes down to it postseason, you're going to need everybody, every arm, and everybody needs to be healthy. So I like this idea. You're going to get a little bit of innings, 3 up, 3 down, next person go in, and keep the innings low.
2-2. And of course the beauty, you can come back in. There's nothing stopping Riley Orcutt from coming back in later in the game. Why not get some different arms out there? And
it's a very different situation to start a game than to get taken out and come back in, or even to finish a game. So I think there's multiple different positions and levels to being a pitcher, and what phase of the game we in, and what the coach wants from you in that scenario. So I think this is a good example of using your pitchers and the depth that you have.
And Michaela Stevens getting the start for Georgia State as Carolyn Deedy swings and misses. Primarily a bullpen pitcher herself, but getting the start here tonight. So everybody, like we talked about in the open, trying some different things. It's a good opportunity midweek to tinker a little bit and see what works, what doesn't work when you get into conference play on the weekend.
I think a lot of times you see some of these players really get hot as the season is progressing in the middle of the season, and they hit a stride, and then you see them explode in postseason. And I think a lot of times it's just a part of the season, the timing of everything, and tweaking a couple things here and there, and just pressing the reset button and be able to have balance to be able to go hard, grind, go at practice, and then take your time. Maybe you take a game off. And also to see what your players are made of. When you put them in different types of situations, what are they going to do? How are they going to respond?
Pulled foul. I wonder if the urge to fetch is very strong with our K9 friends over there. They see this big yellow ball flying around on this big green field. I would imagine they want to run chase, fetch.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting antsy over there. Maybe it's the balls that are being pitched.
They are ready to fetch.
I've seen a dog, I think it was during a baseball game, he goes and retrieves the bat.
That is a popular.
I love that. I want that to happen.
Swing and a miss there, and oh, hey, buddy.
Hi, Bubba's.
Those are good boys and girls.
They're triplets. You need to pan out. They're triplets.
One, two. Oh, somebody's antsy.
Hi.
Love it. 2 away. Ashton Scheuer, the right fielder. One and one, the count to the right fielder. Canton, Georgia, Creekview High School product. What a play, and couldn't make the play there at first. That was a heck of a play there by Goodwin to backhand, by Digby to come to her right and try to backhand flip that one over to Goodwin covering the base.
Yeah, that's a good play. I mean, when you have a slapper, you got to be on your toes, and you got to be ready to move east to west, and that's a great snag by Digby. That's a tough play at first. You have a runner barreling down the line.
It'll be an infield single. This one is popped up, coming in, sliding, making the catch, Chambly, and that'll do it for State. Of course, Georgia and Tennessee squaring off this past weekend in Knoxville.
Yeah, I mean, every weekend you're facing a SEC team, and it's a tough schedule. Every SEC team, it doesn't matter what you're ranked that week. It's gonna be a dogfight, no pun intended. But those are very, blue collar games, grinding it out. Everybody wants to win, and the SEC this year is really strong.
Those top 4 teams all squaring off against each other last weekend as LSU traveled to Gainesville to take on the Gators. Of course, Georgia just a pitch or two away from winning that series in Knoxville, giving up the go-ahead home run in the bottom of the 8th. In the rubber match on Sunday.
And sometimes those are the toughest games. You know, what could I have done in the first inning, the second inning, the third inning? And it comes down to one swing of the bat. You know, you're ahead, and then one pitch later, you're down. And I think that's just a part of the game, and you got to be able to work through it.
The 1-2 misses. Two goes outside, counts full.
And one thing I think is interesting about Georgia and what they've been able to do this year, you know, a couple weeks ago, Lindy Ray was starting the lineup off. She was the leadoff hitter, and now she's down a couple spots. But I think that their options are so open, and the lineup is so stacked that they can move people around and still have a very successful outing.
Leadoff walk for Lindy Ray Davis, and Tony Baldwin. Talking about how tough it is in the SEC. He talked last week after that Arkansas series how Georgia lost that series 2-1. Just a couple of pitches here or there from winning that series, and you can make the same argument about Knoxville. And every pitch matters here, as this will be a hit-and-run situation for Georgia. Chamblee will put the ball on the ground and try to leg one out. Can't do it, but Davis moves to second. So productive at bat there for Cindy Chamblee, and that brings up Jaden Fields.
And it makes you think a little bit more about every out, every pitch, every opportunity that you get, and you want to make the most of it, because games like that come down to one pitch sometimes. It's not made of just that one pitch, but it certainly seems like it when you're on the bad side of that, you know. And so I think just taking advantage of your opportunities on offense, on defense, in the circle for Georgia and Georgia State, you know, being able to make things happen and don't give away outs, don't give away innings, and then you're looking and you're bottom of the sixth, top of the seventh, and you're like, oh no, Here we are.
And of course, runs can be at a premium, and that's where we were talking about the offense kind of going the way Sarah Mosley goes. You're only up 1-0 in that Sunday contest at Tennessee. So you get another run or two there, you're in a little bit more comfortable position. The margin of error is just so tight in the SEC, especially on the road. Oh, 2 is fouled back out of play.
Yeah, you have to, you know, come with your A game every day, every inning, every out, every pitch, and be able to work through the ups and downs of the game. And I think, you know, Georgia has a good shot at doing that if they can continue to be consistent and do the little things and not letting any of these moments get too big for them as a whole. The pitching has been doing great, been keeping them in games, obviously. So I think hitting-wise and offensively, if they can have more timely hits or bring in, you know, have those timely hits while their runners are on, and really take full advantage of that, I think they could be sitting in a good seat in a couple weeks.
2 comes high. Fields digging in here. There's the 1-2. Good battle. She's found 3 away with 2 strikes. Lindy Ray Davis stands at first, 1 away. This one, good stop there by Nadler to keep it in the infield. She's going to be safe at first is Jaden Fields. And tip of the cap to Nadler there for getting to the ball. Otherwise, Davis probably scores.
For sure, she scores. I mean, that's a great play by the second baseman to know that and to be able to get up and make a play at 1.
Beat it by a step.
It's a great play by the second baseman, and it's great hustle by Fields. So it's a game of inches.
Infield single, Davis to third. They're on the corners now with one out. And freshman Emily Digby.
And Digby's been having some great at-bats. When they played Tennessee last weekend, she's had some really clutch at-bats, big at-bats, had a home run, handful of RBIs. So she's having an impressive freshman season so far.
Goes after that one behind, now 0-2. Up high.
And if I'm Digby right now, what I'm thinking with one out, first and third, I'm looking for something that I can hit to the green so Lindy Ray can tag up. I don't want my swing to get too big. I mean, if I get a good pitch, I get a good pitch, but...
Oh, she might have got a good one here. Going back, Park will hold it, but that will allow Davis to tag and score. Georgia puts its first run of the afternoon on the board. Jaden Fields goes to second. And you mentioned got something to hit there and send it to the warning track.
And that's a great quality at bat. That you get your team started with one run, sac fly, and that's what you want. That's being able to execute situational hitting at its finest. And Fields got to get the second.
You see Davis going back, getting ready.
And as a runner, you have no reason to leave early, so make sure they catch it. They're far off, at the wall.
Right center, nearly some trouble there. Schroyer comes over and makes the catch in right. And nearly a collision.
NCAA, you can tell, is all over the place. Really competitive games. A lot of really good teams, a lot of really good games, a lot of things happening. So every week, it's like, oh, we got them. Oh, we got them. Oh, nice, we got them too. And it's a tough schedule.
Lily on to pitch here for Georgia. Again, Tony Baldwin kind of going with this inning-by-inning approach, it looks like here this afternoon.
And I think there's so many things that strategically he's probably doing it for a reason, but there's a lot of different things that you can look at from a player perspective, from a team perspective, and everybody gets an inning, right? The inconsistency of the pitcher is going to mess with Georgia State and their hitters. So you have to stay focused. You have to figure out, okay, now we have a lefty, now we have a righty, she has a changeup, she has a rise ball. You have to make sure you're communicating as a hitter offensively who we have in the circle now.
Backus, this will be her 26th appearance on the season. And top of the order now for Georgia State, Chloe Middlebrooks for the second time. So one pitch out there for Brister. Morton out on 2 pitches. And that one's going to get her.
One thing I do like about watching Backus and, as a lefty coming into righties, she's not afraid to go in, and her bread and butter is up and in to righties. So as a pitcher, if that's your best pitch, you can't be afraid to throw it, and sometimes you're going to hit them.
To center. Good night comes on. And Georgia's
how you're winning and how you're losing. Some of those games the last couple weekends have been very close, very competitive. So they're in control. They're in the driver's seat. They have control over how they play, the things that they can work on, the things that they can improve on and address. It's the middle of the season. Where are we at? And so I think that's the victory here, and that's a good thing for Georgia moving forward, is that they are in the driver's seat.
to short. Nearly too much to handle there as Morton came up firing over to Mumfield at first, and she had to bobble that one briefly. Everybody gets a good laugh about it now.
that's a great play by the shortstop. You can hear the short hop from up here, and that's a good skill to be able to do and catch short hops and be confident doing it. Keep your body in front of it. You don't want to turn your head out of the way.
There's Sarah Mosley coming on as Brister. She'll make the catch for the out. We've seen several instances here with these Georgia State defenders coming at each other really quickly to make a play.
And communication is big time. You know, when you come to different stadiums and you're playing with different people and it's loud and different things like that, you have to make sure you're communicating, especially between outfielders and infielder and outfielder, especially when people are on the move quickly.
So top of the order here for Georgia in the third, and two quick outs here on 3 pitches, and Jada Kearney will stand in. One and one.
And as I said earlier, Georgia's in the driver's seat, so I think right now in this game, I mean, it's moving fairly swiftly. So if they can find a way to slow it down for them to get on base, make the pitcher throw a lot of pitches and swing at balls that you like, I think they can put themselves in a good position to take this game away today. But right now, it's very quickly. Everything's happening so fast, quick at bats.
Yeah.
Take a step back, take your time, and make sure you're getting quality swings, quality reps here.
I want to clear the park as it goes out foul.
But what I like to see from Stevens right now is that she's going right at him. And she's going hard in. She's trusting her stuff, and she's going right at him. And I think you can tell that's why this game is going so quickly.
She's got good stuff here tonight. Curious to see how Georgia approaches her now, second time through the lineup, as the 1-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3, and it's a 1-2-3 inning.
Situation. You're swinging for the situation.
So the first time Georgia has kept a pitcher in the game here for a second inning. Riley Orcutt got the start, worked an inning. Rachel Gibson came on in the second for an inning, and Lily Backus now her second inning of work here as we move to the fourth. The 1-0. Goodnight in center will make the catch. 3, 4, and 5 here for Georgia State.
Next up for the Panthers, second baseman number 9, Chloe Nadler.
Rayner retired for the second time this evening. Here's Chloe Nadler. Long at bat for her in the second before she struck out looking.
I think when you face Backus as a hitter, I would zone down. She's very comfortable with a higher pitch with her rise ball, and then understand that she has a good changeup too. So I would be looking for something thigh high, knee high with speed, and then knowing that she also has her changeup. And that's a lefty-lefty, so as a righty, it's going to probably come into you a lot quicker than it's going to feel like it's coming to me. So it's going to be going away.
Little foul out there to first.
And again, she's not afraid to go inside. So a lot of those balls that she pitches inside to righties, they get jammed and they pop it up to the infield. So as a hitter, if you want to be able to hit her curve in with a lot of speed, you got to get your barrel out sooner.
Strike 0-1 to Carolyn Deedy. Left-hander delivers 1-1. Deedy struck out in the second.
And you can see that was her off speed, which it was sitting at right 54, which is about 10 mile an hour less than her fastball. So into their hitting at their schools and the coaching that they have to go with it.
Four, 5, and 6 for Georgia here in the fourth. Jaden Goodwin for the second time. Ground ball to short, or second, excuse me. And the 4-3 put out at first gets our first down of the inning. Lindy Ray Davis walked in the second, came around to score on a sacrifice fly from Emily Digby. She represents the game's only run, and just based off the way Georgia hits the ball, if you had said before the game there would only be one run on the scoreboard here in the bottom of the fourth, I think that would surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, you as a program like Georgia, who is notoriously great at offense, you're just sometimes in the season you're going to hit a lull, and I think that's where it's imperative to continue to do the small things, continue to be consistent in your mindset, and you're going to have to hit your way out of whatever it is you're going through as a team. And I think it's really important to focus on that. You know, whether it's taking your walks, hit by pitch, you have to put down a sac bunt, you have to hit you need to hit a sac fly. And focusing on having quality bats and hitting in this situation.
Nice piece of defense out there by Schroyer in right. Two away, and Cindy Chambly is the batter. Chambly looks at a strike. Kayla Stevens is looking for back-to-back 3-up and 3-down innings here.
And that's big time. Again, going right at them, pitching to their strengths, making them earn the hits that they're going to get. And, you know, kudos to Stevens for just going right at them and trusting her pitches.
Home run distance, but foul. That one hung up inside, and Chambly was able to turn on it.
You got 0-2 right now with 2 outs. If I'm pitching, I'm not getting anything close to the plate for her to swing at. You have plenty of opportunity with 0-2. You're way ahead of the hitter.
She goes high and away.
And you know, as a pitcher and, you know, as a team collectively, that Georgia wants to hit. They want to win. They want to score a lot of runs. So sometimes you can take advantage of that by being smart, strategic in pitchers' counts and not giving them anything close to swing at.
Golfed to left field. That one is trouble, and it's gone. Cindy Chambly got just enough of it. And that one kept carrying for her 7th home run of the season. It's 2-0 Georgia.
And sometimes it just starts with, you know, the people in front of you hitting the ball hard and putting the ball in play hard, and then you come up clutch, stay on it, stay through it, and hit the ball hard over the fence.
That one just kept carrying. And on the 1-2, Chambly drives in the second run of the game. Here's Jaden Fields. Fouled back out of play.
And so I think as you see this game is starting to progress, they're making small adjustments. You can tell in their swing, or you can tell that they're actually swinging first pitch. They're barely missing it. So I'm really looking for them to continue to make those small adjustments, because I think it'll end up creating big opportunities just by making small adjustments.
And that's the one opportunity there for Georgia. As good as Stevens is pitching, this will be the second time through the lineup. You turn the card over the third time, Georgia's going to probably make some adjustments there, maybe get a little bit more success off her as the 0-2 goes high. And you maybe saw a little bit of it there in Chambly's at bat, because 2 pitches before the home run, she went opposite field, home run distance, but foul.
Right, and I think, when you play a 7-inning game, you have to think about the hitters are making adjustments, and, whether you switch your pitcher in or out, pitchers have to be, they have to remember that. And you don't want to have the same plan every single time. You have to also still pay attention to what the hitters are doing. But hitters are always hopefully going to be making adjustments, and I think Georgia is starting to with their at-bats. They're hitting the ball harder. They're not getting jammed and popping it up. They're a little bit more intentional on their swings when they are swinging.
Drops in for a ball, 2-2. Fields singled in the second. One of 2 Georgia hits here this afternoon. She had a long at bat against Stevens the last time.
She is always very competitive at the plate. She has a lot of long at bats, fouls a lot of balls off. So I'm waiting to see her make those adjustments and really see some hits starting to happen with her.
To second and over the head of Nadler. And Fields is aboard for the second time this afternoon. The first an infield single, and this one a little bloop that just gets out.
And then sometimes you get that, you get a home run, or you get that, or you get hit the ball hard. But I think as the season continues, you have to be able to do those things and continue to power through, to continue to grind out, and just play the game. Sometimes you're not going to have your best hitting day, but you're going to get on base 3 times, So you have to figure out a way to be consistent. Be consistent in your approach. Be consistent in how you play the game.
So Fields 2 for 2 here today. Digby sacrificed in the second to drive in Lindy Ray Davis.
And this is another great opportunity to have a quality at bat. You have 2 outs. You're ahead 2-0. So really looking for something you can drive hard here.
Drives this one to left. This one will bounce off the wall. Stop sign for Fields at third, second and third now with 2 away. And you mentioned getting something to hit hard, and
that was it.
Clairvoyant you are.
And I think as a hitter, you have it at bats and you're in a pitcher's count, right? Or a hitter's count, excuse me. You have to be aware of that. The pitcher doesn't want to walk you. She doesn't want to get 3-0. She doesn't want to get that deep into the account. So you're probably going to get a good pitch to hit, and you got to be ready for it. So a double off the wall, move the runner 2 bases. I mean, that's a quality at bat, especially with 2 outs. And if you can keep this, rally going, that's how you kind of get yourself out of this lull, start creating opportunities.
And no sense of panic here, it appears, out of Georgia State. 2 outs, no action in the bullpen. But after the 3 up and 3 down there in the third, it looked like possibly going to do that again. But Chambly with 2 strikes, the home run. This one sent to right center. It's going to sit and roll off the bat of Ellie Armistead. 2 runs will score. Turning and sliding into third safely is Ellie Armistead. She'll drive in a pair, and Georgia plates 2 more. It's 4-0.
Another good quality at bat, and it's contagious. It's contagious when you have good quality at bats and you pass the bat to the next person. You have another double, another triple. clear the bases. So good quality at bats, making small adjustments.
And the infield's going to come in, and there's going to be a conversation in the circle. And maybe a settle down opportunity. So I haven't seen anybody go to the bullpen yet here for Georgia State, as Ellie Armistead, a triple.
It looked like she was going 3 right out of the box. She knew it. She wasn't stopping. I don't even think she would have stopped if Tony told her to stop.
Split the gap there really well.
Yeah.
And rolled for a while, and she's already halfway to second by the time it even gets to the wall. And the shortstop has got some great speed. So now top of the order. That one back up the middle. That'll drive Armistead in from third. So Georgia hits for the cycle as a team here in the fourth. Home run, single, double, triple in order. And Dallas Goodnight will drive her in with a single.
See, what did that? I mean, that's a cool team statistic there.
That is pretty neat to do it in order there as well. So we mentioned the offense going the way Sarah Mosley goes. She's 0 for 2 here on the day, but Georgia leading now 5-0. And it's a strike to her. She's only seen 3 pitches, now 4 on the outing.
And I think for Mosley, it's just trusting her skills, trusting her eye, and just continuing to make small adjustments and be confident.
Fouled back 0-2. She had 1 hit on the weekend in Knoxville, so a little bit of a lull last weekend for her, looking to get back on track here. To right. Catch is made, but Georgia. Ashton Schroyer. The 1-1 to foul territory.
I always think it's interesting as a slapper and watching slappers, thinking about what their mindset is. Because the defense is set up to get you out in a very specific way. So good slappers do a really good job of controlling how they hit the ball, where they hit the ball, and taking advantage of where the defense is. So I always like to watch different teams in their defensive slap setup.
Jaden Fields, who was the designated player, now right field defensively there for Georgia. And, of course, the ball finds her.
Of course.
Immediately.
That's literally how the game is. Oh, you're new here? Okay, cool.
Here it comes.
Hope you're ready.
So Kearney is now the DP. Gordon into the game to catch for Georgia. And there's Sarah Gordon. The 2-0. Popped up, 2 away. Gordon, a sophomore from Lexington, South Carolina, the catcher for Georgia. Mahia Mumfield popping out there. She's 0 for 2 on the day. There's Lauren Brister.
You can see Kirpis is very confident with her changeup. This is something that she's been working on, especially for this season, and trying to get better at, is being able to throw her changeup in all counts, being able to have the confidence to just pull it out whenever. And it's become a pitch that it's her bread and butter, you know, along with her speed and her rise. It's something that she can go to very confidently in any count, and you can see that. You know, she went back-to-back pitches with off speed, and so that's sitting at mid to low 50s, which is about 10 or so miles an hour less than her fastball, and that's a big difference.
Ground ball to Goodwin. 1, 2, 3. As 3, 4, and 5 due up here for Georgia, and the catcher Gordon will bat here in the 3 spot. But 1 through 5, not much to write home about here this afternoon, but the bottom of the order getting it done for Georgia.
And I think that's a sign of a great offense, a great team, is when, you know, the bottom of your lineup is just as productive as the top. And I think it's not going to happen every day. Everybody's not going to hit home runs and doubles and triples. But collectively as a team, as the season progresses, if you can have your entire lineup have the ability to be productive and to produce runs 1 through 9, that's what you want. You want, you know, 1 through 9, you want 9 to turn the lineup over back to 1. And it's a great thing to have as a team, and to have a strong offense going through the season and going into postseason is being able to produce runs all the way up and down your lineup.
To right center and into the glove of Middlebrooks. She kept going and got there just in time, one away. Of course, today, National Siblings Day. Jaden Goodwin and older sister JC, a softball family growing up there in Kentucky.
You think they were talking about, hey, I'm going to Georgia State. Hey, I'm going to Georgia. I'll see you there.
Play each other once a year. Pretty cool to get to play against your sister.
Yeah, that is cool, and obviously playing with each other growing up on the same team, I'm sure a lot. And then, you know, parting ways when you get to college. So really cool to be able to have them play against each other.
One, two, swung on and missed for strike 3. 0 for 3 day here for Jaden Goodwin, and Kayla Stevens looking more like herself here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, I mean, considering it's 5-0, I think Stevens has done a great job at going at this Georgia offense, Georgia lineup, and I think she's doing great. I think she's going right at them, pitching strikes, trusting her stuff, and
there's a fair ball right on the line as Lindy Ray Davis turns from first. She'll make her way to second with a standing double. That one right on the line. It just got past Mumpfield at first, and it rolled for a bit.
Next up to the Bulldogs, the left fielder, number 9, Sydney.
And I think that one might have actually grazed the glove of Mumfield there at first. You see it kind of turn once it drops, and that helped it kind of go towards the corner for Georgia. So a double for Lindy Ray Davis. This one to left center. Coming on is Brister. She'll make the catch. And Georgia is
not a whole lot of speed. Not a whole lot of speed.
Always something at Jack Turner Stadium. You never know what's going to happen on a Wednesday night in Athens.
Never.
We are in the 6th inning. Madison Kerpix, her 2nd inning of work. Bella Morton batting for the 2nd time, 0 for 1. Nine, 1, and 2 for Georgia State here in the 6th inning. It was a 1-run game. Going into the bottom of the 4th, 2 outs and 2 strikes, and Georgia scoring 4 runs with 2 outs as this one's popped up. Mosley having to navigate over the bag there at 3rd.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that, typically in a game, a lot of times you'll see not a whole lot of runs scored from the 1st to the 3rd, and then once the lineup goes through again, you start seeing those adjustments. You start seeing people kind of put their swings together, and then runs start to happen. So I think Georgia's done a good job of making small adjustments and then turning them into hits.
Well hit, but foul. Chloe Middlebrooks. Go ahead.
I think sometimes you can see with Kerpix when she gets into a little bit of trouble, it's because she likes the rise ball, the screwball that goes in, but the height of it is usually at the letters or higher. So when she gets into a little bit of trouble is when she lets that rise ball or screwball hang a little bit and it's not as high, and then batters can put their barrel on it pretty well.
That one drops in there for a called strike 3. Her first strikeout of the outing. 2 away, and that'll bring up J.C. Goodwin.
Now batting fifth player number 3, J.C. Goodwin.
Like that height right there is where she kind of lives. So then it's all about location.
Yeah.
Where is it? You can't leave it over the white. Because hitters can hit that. And so you have to be conscious of where you're throwing it, how high you're throwing it, the tendencies of the hitters. Are they going to swing? Can they hit a rise ball? Are they underneath it? Because they're always making adjustments as well.
1-2 goes outside, 2-2. Kerpix went 1-2-3 in the 5th, looking to do the same here in the 6th. Chases this one upstairs. Knocked foul. You strike them out, throw them out. And Kerpix goes 1-2-3 here in the 6th. Bottom of the 6th inning coming.
So far this season, and still have the other ones to go.
Impressive numbers once again out of the SEC. And NCAA softball. You anticipate the regionals being littered with SEC teams, and good chance the Supers will as well.
Yeah, I anticipate it being kind of chaotic and crazy, to be honest. with how everybody's season is going and just ups and downs and wins and losses. I think it'll be a really competitive postseason and really exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Go 2. Misses for a ball, and feels like it's cooled off a little bit here. There's some pretty serious clouds starting to roll in. We're about an hour and a half away per the radar of getting some pretty strong precipitation as the 1-2 is sent to right field for the out. Been a pretty rough 24 hours for folks down in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. That band of storms moving into Georgia later this evening, and
Stay away.
that's the rain. Yeah, that's the rain that's headed this way, so this game's going to finish just in time to beat that weather. Digby pops up, 2 away. So Fields flies out for the first out. Digby does as well. And Georgia's going to pinch hit for Ellie Armistead here. Tyler Ellison. Ellison, a .333 hitter on the season. Sophomore from McDonough.
Again, I think it's key when you get these opportunities, and as you go through the season, you start to realize, what is my role on the team? What is expected of me? What does my coach want out of me? And I think in games like this, when you get opportunities
as a staff.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what they've been doing all season, is limiting the number of innings per pitcher, but using their entire pitching staff. You see 3 pitchers that get the majority of the innings, but I think as you move through the season and get into postseason, you're going to need every arm that you can get. So I think I like this. Keep it light, give people opportunities, get outs, and then see what your pitchers can do. And it seems like it's been pretty effective tonight.
Yeah. Ellie Armistead back in the game defensively at short as Tyler Ellison pinch hit for her. So this one going to drop and roll off the right field wall, and getting the stop sign there is Jordan Rayner. Her first hit of the afternoon, just the second of the day for Georgia State. She's pretty fired up. She smoked that one.
And they've been hitting the ball hard. They've just been going straight to somebody. So I like that they've stayed aggressive. I like that they've continued to swing the bat. And when you swing the bat and you hit the ball hard, it's bound to fall at some point. So I like that. I like their aggressive swings.
Maya Montague will run at first base.
And your attention, please. Running at first base now, Panther, number 28, Maya Montague. Now batting second base for the line, Chloe Nadler.
And here's Nadler to hit.
And for Georgia State, I think that's a great job as the leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
Is to come in, immediately hit the ball hard down the line, get a good hit, and get your team started and put yourself in a position at the top of the 7th, continue to make adjustments and see if you can put something together here.
Nadler 0 for 2. One comes high. And the pinch runner has got the attention of Sarah Gordon. Grounded foul. Pretty good crowd here in Athens this afternoon. A little bit of blue making the trip over there. Above the Georgia State dugout first base side. 2-2 swung on and missed for strike three. Nadler is retired on strikes for the second time. Carolyn Deedy, pair of strikeouts for her. And I apologize, we got a pinch hitter, Alice Thomas. Thomas, a junior from Warner Robins. Just her third at bat of the season. Pair of stolen bases for her. Has been used as a pinch runner. She has scored 5 times. Stole a pair. Two and two to her.
And I think for Kerpix right here, it's important to kind of shut the door, having that mentality of shutting the door. And, you know, gave up a hit. Who cares? So what? Shutting the door, getting outs, pitching strikes here.
Lightly tapped. The play will be at first for the out. Two away and a runner now in scoring position. And Ashton Schroyer will bat with 2 away.
Next up for the Panthers, right fielder number 7, Ashton Schroyer.
Ground ball to short, to first in time. And Georgia is going to defeat the Panthers here 5-0.